Good morning, everybody, and welcome to day 2 of the 2019 Pony Baseball Palomino World Series here in sunny Laredo, Texas. Today we've got Chinese Taipei facing off against a team from Harlingen, Texas, down in the Rio Grande Valley. Beautiful weather this morning, sure to heat up slowly as it tends to do here in Laredo.
It heats up in Laredo?
Occasionally.
Who are you, Michael Blake? Introduce yourself. Come on, man.
This is Michael Blake. It's been a while.
Let the people know who you are.
I am a 35-year-old.
Okay, we didn't need to know that much.
Oh, okay.
He's Michael Blake. I'm Ryan Bailey. We're here on YouTube bringing you the Pony League 18 and Under World Series. Game number 5.
Game number 5 of the day. I am going to do my best to...
Game number 5 of the day?
Game number 5 of the tournament.
Of the tournament. I was going to say game number 5 of the day. They played overnight.
That's... Yeah. As I said, it's been a while. I'm going to do my best to give you the starting lineup for the Chinese Taipei.
And I want everybody at home to know, Michael Blake wanted to do play-by-play. He wanted to call out these names.
I did.
He's a better man than me, so I had zero problem with it when I saw... No offense to Chinese Taipei, but this is going to be fun for you. All right,
so
you ready?
Starting lineup for Taipei. Number 7 playing left field, Yen Kuo Chin. Number 4. See if I can remember. I used to have the positions memorized. I will say second base, Chen Chi Chun. Number 5 playing third base, Lin Su Hao. Number 6, playing shortstop. There we go. Liu Ji Hong. Number 8 in center field, Sun Chun Rei. Number 3, playing first base, Huang Cho Wei. Number 2, catching, Li Mengxi. Number 11, designated hitter, Luo Hao Chun. Number 9 in right field, Hu Yi Long. And number 1 pitching, Li Chen Shun. That is your starting lineup for the Taipei team. We'll get to the starting lineups for Harlingen.
I'm going to give you a solid B+, A- on that one.
All right.
Good job. You sounded like you had a little bit of authority on that, so that was good.
The interpreter did a great job helping me out getting these names. Now leading off for Harlingen, number 8, Juan Zambrano. And he's a shortstop. Umpire calling for the music to be shut down. And we are underway. So Zambrano stepping into the batter's box as our first batter of the day. And that's going to miss a little high. 1-1 the count. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been on the mic, man.
It's been a while since you did some baseball, too. You're jumping right back into it.
Yeah, I got no fear. Here's the delivery, and that is inside corner, call for strike 1 and 2 the count. So Zambrano falling behind. See, I'm going to save this picture of the starting lineup so that I've got it readily available. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike number 3. That's out number 1. So haven't been watching much of this particular World Series, although I will say that the Chinese Taipei reputation for baseball speaks for itself.
This is their first game here in this tournament. They did not play yesterday. Got a bye out of the first round. And I can tell you, though, their 12 and under team played yesterday and won 19-0. They were quite the talk over at the Benavides Park. Like you said, their reputation precedes them. This their second appearance in the Pony League Palomino World Series. Of course, the Palomino League is for 18 and under teams.
This is number 11, Troy Gallardo, First pitch was a ball and swung on and fouled straight back. This is a center fielder for Harlingen. So 1-1 the count to Gallardo. I'm wondering what, with a score like that, 19-0, you think that they're more of an offensive juggernaut, but we'll see if this is a defensive game or a shootout. Pitch in there called for strike number 2. 1-2 again for the pitcher Lee Chen-shun.
Throwing strikes, always vital, especially early in the count here for Chinese Taipei. Putting that ball over the plate.
That one bounces in the dirt, trying to get the batter to chase, and he able to hold himself off. So now we got a 2-2 count.
Harlingen being pretty selective in what they're going after up there so far. The first two guys, as you want to see, you want to give everybody in that dugout a chance to see some pitches. What does this kid have?
Swung on and fouled, so the count will remain 2-2. It amazes me how skilled these young men are. I played baseball, but I was nowhere near this skilled.
Well, one of the things you have to remember, these are all-star teams. These are teams put together, and they are the best of the best in their respective areas. And all you have to do even...
Just misses with that pitch. The catcher tried to frame it up, but that'll run the count full. Good eye there by Gallardo to let that one go by.
All you have to do is look at the Laredo team. I mean, that's a team stacked with kids from Alexander United, United South. I mean, it's kids from all over the city coming together to play. So it's not just – these aren't just really good high school teams. These are the best of the best.
Grounded to first, easily fielded, and walked over for out number 2. So 2 away here. That was first baseman number 3, Huang Cho Wei, with the putout. So 2 up, 2 down for Harlingen here in the top of the first. Coming up to the plate now, number 19. That's Danny Dial, first baseman for Harlingen. Right-handed hitter going against a right-handed pitcher. First pitch, low for ball 1.
One of the interesting things today is going to be watching Harlingen. They had to play yesterday. They won 2-0 over Aroma Park out of Illinois. That was a noon game, so they've had a nice little time off, but they did probably have to use, if not their best pitcher, probably their number 2 guy.
Swung on and missed for strike 1. Nice pitch there. 1-1 count.
Meanwhile, Taipei had the bye out of the first round. They, along with Santa Clara out of California, got a chance to rest up yesterday, didn't have to play.
Ooh, chasing some high heat there was Dial, and that is strike number 2. 1-2 count yet again. He likes those high fastballs. He went swinging the axe there.
Yeah, that's one where you see it coming in and you think you can reach it, but it just rises on you.
Next pitch just misses. 2-2 count for Dial.
That one felt like everybody paused. Nobody was really sure what the umpire was going to do there. Even the batter, I think, thought that was going to be ring 'em up time, but he hesitated. He lives to fight another pitch.
2-2 pitch on the way. Did he go?
No, I think that was a good call. I think that was the right call. He didn't offer it, that one. Although it does beg the question, Michael Blake, what is the official rule on a check swing?
Go ahead and answer that question.
There is no official rule on a check swing. There's no such thing. The baseball rule book does not have a check swing. It's either you swing or you do not swing. And apparently the umpire felt there that he did not swing.
3-2 pitch, swung on and missed.
He swung there.
For strike number 3 and out number 3. So Harlingen goes in order, 1-2-3, no base runners at all this inning. So we're going to go to the middle of the first. Chinese Taipei coming up to bat here in the bottom half.
You ask me how I know that? I took a history of baseball class, and we had umpires, professional Major League umpires, come in and talk to us, and that was one of their trick questions.
And that's why I asked you to be the color man.
That was one of their trick questions, was what is a check swing? And we were told there is no such thing. Along with, here was the other question they asked us, or that I remember them asking us. The bases are loaded. There's one out. There's a pop fly to the warning track. Fly ball to the warning track. Could it be considered an infield fly?
My gut feeling is no, but I want to say you're going to say yes.
Yes. According to them, they said yes. If the shortstop can go back, or any infielder can make what they considered routine movements to make the catch, technically it could be considered. Now, you could argue a shortstop going to the warning track is not routine, but if he just kind of faded his way back there, they said
that would have to be one sky-high fly ball.
That would literally be a moonshot, but yes.
With a center fielder moving at near light speed to get to the warning track in time to make that catch.
I would agree with you. And it was a hypothetical.
I would love to see the argument that ensued from the coach after that was deemed an infield fly with a runner on third and one out.
I'm going to guess the coach would probably not
disagree
anymore.
So pitching for Harlingen is going to be number 18, Nick Muniz. And if Taipei's team is anything like their 12U team, he's going to have his work cut out for him. Although it is really good to be back on the horn with you, Bales. It's been a while.
You used to work for a local university here, doing some baseball games. You did quite a few there, I know.
That is correct. So leading off for the Taipei, number 7, Yen Kuo-chin. He is the left fielder for Chinese Taipei. I remember growing up watching many a Little League World Series, and Chinese Taipei always being a very formidable opponent. I'm guessing a lot of those kids went on to play in Pony League once they got older and come to these type of events.
Very well could have.
First pitch misses for ball 1. Yeah, it seemed like they were always in the championship game when I was growing up. Second pitch outside as well, ball 2. 2-0 the count to the left fielder, Yen Kuo-chin.
Like I said, it's interesting with Harlingen. Not sure if they threw their number 1 guy or number 2 guy yesterday. Knowing that if they won, they were going to have Chinese Taipei, it kind of goes back to that.
That misses high, 3-0 the count.
Do you risk it?
That's a tough decision. You always want to win your first round game, but now you've got possibly a formidable team. Next pitch misses. That's 4 straight balls and a walk. So leadoff runner on, never a good start.
And it may be a situation where they don't have a dedicated 1 or 2 guy, but yeah, you always got to get through that first game. You want to stay in that winner's bracket. Difficult to win these kind of double elimination tournaments if you got to come from that elimination side all the way through.
Chen Chi-chun, number 4, the second baseman for Taipei. Leadoff runner, throwback over to first, nearly in time, but safe. Number 4, who is not correctly on the lineup, number 4 is Jaime Uvalle. He was showing bunt. That time did not. 2-0 the count. So let's see what kind of strategy what kind of strategy Taipei uses here. See if they're going to try and bunt the runner over or with a 2-0 count. They're showing bunt again. That pitch is high. 3-0 now. The last thing you want to do is put first 2 runners on with no outs. That gives Taipei a lot of options.
Well, we talked about Taipei throwing strikes in that first inning. Harlingen doing the exact opposite here.
That one in there, so 3-1.
I was at the Laredo game last night as they took on Germany. And early on in that one, the Laredo team was trying to give themselves up with a sacrifice bunt. And same thing, went to 3 straight balls, ended up laying it down, and they threw the ball away at first.
Runner going, there's not going to be a throw, and that's ball number 4 either way. So first 2 runners on for Taipei. And right off the bat, Harlingen in a little bit of a pickle. And I believe this is the second baseman, Lin Tzu-Hao. And he's going to show bunt right away on the first delivery. He made an effort on that one, but it's fouled straight back. 0-1 the count. I'm a big fan, especially in this situation, runners on first and second, no outs, of bunting both over and putting 2 in scoring position right away.
Here's the only thing I don't like about that. I don't mind small ball, across all levels, major leagues, college especially. The small ball's going away. It's about putting the ball in a park. Obviously, these 18-year-old kids probably not going to hit too many balls out of Uni-Trade Stadium here. But you've also got a pitcher who just walked 2 straight guys. If I'm the coach, I'm telling him, square around to bunt, but it's got to be a really good pitch.
And there's strike 2 on another fouled bunt. And now we've got a batter in the hole here and a chance where he can move the runners over.
I mean, this is your number 3 hitter. This is a kid that you expect to be able to really handle that bat in there. I would have liked to give him maybe a couple of pitches, see if you can get to that 2-0 count and give him a chance to really rip one. Now he's 0-2, and now he's got to play a little more defensively.
Should be swinging here. Choke up on the bat a little bit. There's a swing and another foul ball. So 3 straight foul balls, 2-0 count. Or 0-2 count, I should say. I was always a fan of small ball, not necessarily with just one runner at first, but a runner first and second, definitely. Although you're right, pitcher, there's a swing and a shot into right field. That is caught. Runner will move from second to third. Runner will hold at first, so essentially does his job, hits the ball into the outfield and puts a runner into scoring position. 1 away now, runners at the corners.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing you want to do there was stay out of the double play. You don't want to give yourself a chance to really take yourself out of the inning. He does move the runner along.
Now we got the cleanup hitter. He's a shortstop, number 6, Liu Ji-hong. And I don't imagine he's going to be scoring up to bunt.
If he does, then they are the ultimate small ball team.
First pitch is in for a called strike 1. Runner over at first, dancing a bit off the bag. Looking like he's at least trying to distract the catcher to make an errant throw.
The other thing he could be doing is just trying to get in that pitcher's head a little bit. I'm over here. You got to pay attention to me, and they're just kind of faking it.
Swung on and popped into right field. Should be an easy catch. Runner is tagging. Here comes the throw, and throw is a little off, and he's going to get in there for the first run of the game. So the sacrifice fly into right field, and Taipei takes a 1-0 lead. Next up is the center fielder, number 8, Sung Chun Ray. And I will tell you, that is not how I thought you would pronounce J-U-I, Ray. That is something I learned today from the very, very helpful interpreter from Taipei.
So at some point here, you just got to go to last names.
I will eventually,
there
yes.
You go.
They are all first time around in the batting order. See you throwing back a monster there. You need a little bit of a Kickstarter this morning. That one is lined into left field, and it will fall in. Base hit. Puts runners at first and second. Well hit ball. Fell in just short of the left fielder.
I was just about to say this is big for Harlingen. To give up 2 straight walks to lead off the inning, if you can get out of here only giving up 1 run, that would be huge. That would have to be considered a win of an inning for them. So they could come back in, get the bats going, hopefully.
Number 3, Huang Chao Wei stepping in. He is swinging on the first pitch, and that looks like it's flown into left center and caught for out number 3. So they do manage to restrict the runs to just 1 after 2 straight walks to start. Yeah, you would think they'll take that after 2 straight walks, just 1 run. But we do head to the top of the second inning now. Taipei on top 1-0. See if Harlingen can answer with some runs of their own here, try to pull this even. I'm not a monster kind of guy. I like me just regular old coffee.
You know, growing up in the Pacific Northwest, it is the land of coffee.
That's true.
I've had 1 cup of coffee my entire life. I've tried multiple times. Can't do it. Don't like it.
You don't like coffee?
Like it. No, I can't stand the taste of it.
Wow.
I don't like bitter things. I like sour, I like sweet, I like salty.
And spicy.
And spicy. But bitter is
so
the
that
one.
You basically all of the foods except coffee.
Pretty much. Coffee and dark chocolate.
I love dark chocolate.
Well, there you go. It's bitter. See, that's why you like it. I don't like that dark coffee or the dark chocolate either.
Well, you people from the Northwest are strange.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. It was actually interesting going up last weekend and talking to my new wife, and her family came out, and we were talking about how Texans are all about Texas, and
that's true.
State pride. And I was like, we don't really have that pride for, Washington or Oregon, the states. It's more the Pacific Northwest. I see a lot of Pacific Northwest pride.
Like New England?
Kind of, yeah. Although I think New England is different, too, because I don't think, like, Bostonites, I don't know what you would call them. Bostonians, there you go. I don't think they probably relate to, like, Rhode Island too much, but I get what you're saying.
Massachusetts,
it's a regional thing.
Providence. I knew a fella from Providence, and I really assumed that most movies were just exaggerating the Boston accent. They were not.
He told you otherwise?
Yeah, he could have been a...
See, now there's a difference, though, in the Providence accent to the Boston accent, too, isn't there?
I couldn't tell the difference, but it was jarring. So the leadoff hitter will be the cleanup hitter. It's the third baseman, number 14, Elijah Estevens. Probably not Estevens. First pitch is high for ball 1. Yeah, it was jarring because it was a thick accent. And
the box, number 14.
You think that Providence and Boston would be worse, but this was thick. That pitch in there called strike 1. 1-1 the count to Estevens. Could have been an extra in The Departed. Next pitch low, almost in the dirt. 2-1 the count to the leadoff hitter for Harlingen. Taipei flag, I assume, hanging down the right field line. Sounds like they had some fans here. Swung on and fouled back. 2-2 the count now. Sounds like they did bring a decent amount of fans with them. That is some dedication to come all that way to the southernmost point in Texas. Well, I shouldn't say that. I guess Brownsville's more southern, but One of the most southern points in Texas.
I was going to say they're playing a team that is more southern than Laredo, actually.
I said in Texas. Or what? What were you saying?
I'm saying Harlingen is further south.
Yeah.
They're playing a team.
One of the most
south.
southern
There you
points in
go.
Texas. The southern border. 2-2 count.
Family back at home, every time I say I'm going south, they're like, how can you go more
And
south?
he is rung up on a called strike 3. That's correct. How do you go further south? It's actually southeast. I haven't checked. Does Mexico have a team represented?
Mexico does. Mazatlan is playing in this one. They will actually be taking on the Laredo number 2 team in the elimination bracket. That game coming up at 11:30 over at our student activity complex. That's where the elimination games are taking place today.
Marco Sanchez stepping in, swinging at the first pitch, grounded to third, throw to first, and a nice scoop for out number 2. The first baseman, Hong Cho Wei. That was my favorite. I played first base, and every time the ball was coming in the dirt, my eyes got real big because I saw it as an opportunity to make a highlight-style scoop.
Yeah, he did a nice job of playing the short hop on that one. Aggressively going after the ball, catching it right as it kind of hops right up into your glove. Played a little first base myself, and yeah, it's I always like the stretch more. I wanted it. And when you knew it was going to be a close play and you got those legs out there. Looking at it now, having watched a little more baseball, I don't think the stretch actually does much of anything, especially as a right-hander, but made you feel cool.
Number 10, Jesus de Leon, he's a left fielder, will step in with 2 away. Yeah, I guess I was a little flashy. Strike 1 called. I wanted to I would actually step back so I could play the scoop. Sometime it worked, sometime it didn't. And that's why I no longer play baseball. Ball 1, high and outside. Now I'm more of a watch baseball kind of guy.
Nothing better on a Saturday afternoon to just turn on some baseball. Doing things around the
Swung
house.
on and grounded up the middle. The second baseman backhands it and over to first for out number 3. So far, defense for Taipei has looked pretty sharp. Nice backhand play there. They had the scoop by the first baseman. 2 pretty solid defensive plays. And we head to the bottom of the second with Taipei still leading 1-0.
6 up, 6 down for Taipei. So that's what you got to like to see. And what I like about their pitcher, he's making quick work of it. He's not messing around out there. He gets up, gets to the mound, and starts pitching. He's not waiting around, shaking off a bunch of pitches. He's throwing what's been laid down there by his coaches, and away they go.
It's so much fun to see the difference in styles when the Taipei team returns to the dugout after their third out. They all remove their hats, form a circle, listen to what the coach says. Then they all put on their hats together and all go into the dugout. Not saying any other way is better than the other, but it's different, and it's very cool to see the individual styles of the team.
Do want to welcome all 162 of you watching online right now. We appreciate you guys tuning in. The Pony League Palomino World Series here in Laredo, Texas. Things heating up on day number 2. You got any questions, comments? Leave them for us on the YouTube page. We're watching. At least I'm watching.
He'll let me know.
We apologize to those of you in Taipei. I see some comments written in a language I don't understand, and YouTube isn't translating them. So I apologize if you're saying something to us out there.
Yeah, we had a very helpful, friendly translator here earlier with us, and he's down in the dugout now. If we can get him up here maybe later, he can tell us what's going on.
I'd actually, that would be fun to have him up here for a little bit. Pebble Talk, I know he's probably down there doing some work. He's a busy guy. He was running around, not only giving us the names, but also doing the PA announcing for their team. So
Yeah, really, really friendly, helpful kid. We got to get him up here. Maybe he can do a little an inning in his native language so that the Taipei fans can hear. So leading off here in the bottom of the second, catcher number 2, Li Mengshi.
In the box, number 2, Li Mengshi.
Doing a quick little Google search here. I want to know what the weather was like in Taipei right now.
Pitch inside for ball 1.
Taiwan City. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. These kids are from Taiwan County, but Taiwan City, 83 degrees right now.
Oh, that must be so nice.
No, not so much, Michael Blake. Be careful what you wish for. It's 75% humidity.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, that's a little humid.
Ball 2 on a high inside pitch.
It's 10 p.m. over there, so we appreciate you guys listening on a Saturday night, staying in, listening to us here on YouTube. It's about an 11-hour difference.
3-0 count to start the leadoff hitter. Once again, we find ourselves in an early hole for pitcher Nick Muniz.
Actually, I will say Laredo right now, 86 with 62% humidity, so it probably feels pretty similar. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of difference here.
That pitch called a strike. 3-1 the count. But I wonder how high it will get in that area, in that area of the world. Swung on and fouled over the first base side. That's 2 strikes. Full count now. Because here today, it's probably going to get to about 105, I would assume.
Well, I can tell you it's Sunday is supposed to be a high of 97 there. Looks like they stay in the 90s, but there's some precipitation going to be coming down over there. So
not here.
I'm going to guess it's pretty humid where they are at.
I don't even know what that word means. And that's ball 4. And the leadoff hitter, once again, is awarded a free base.
I'm going to guess their weather much like Houston. Hot and muggy.
Yeah, that is not my favorite kind of climate. Number 11, Luo Hao Tsun. He is the designated hitter, and we've got our first visit of the day from the coach from Harlingen.
Yeah, 3 walks already in only 8 batters. You got to throw strikes. Make these kids put the ball in play. Trust your defense. It's the number one aim as a pitcher. Especially at this level, there's not a whole lot of guys that can just overpower hitters.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of guys at this level that are going to be throwing 90 miles an hour and can just strike everybody out.
And once again, we get at least a show of a bunt. Let's see if he actually tries to lay it down. He does not. First pitch is outside. Throw back again. That one's going to go into right field, and the runner will move over to second base on the errant throw. So we've got a runner on second with no outs. The catcher trying to catch the runner off the bag, and the throw is just a little out of the reach of the first baseman.
And that's tough. If you want to pull your hair out as a manager watching your pitcher walk at guys, giving up free bases like that is even more frustrating. That's one as a catcher. If you're going to do it, you better make sure that throw is right on the money, because giving up free bases with nobody out here.
And I believe we've got a change in the hitter here. So that's number 14, U Kai-un. That's going to come out.
And now for Chinese Taipei, U Kai-un, number 14.
And this is their designated hitter spot.
And he's going to show bunt at least early on here. Perhaps a better bunter, not And that one is taken for strike one. So the count, I believe, is 1-1. Yes, it is 1-1.
Yeah, something you don't normally see, bringing in a pinch hitter in the middle of an at-bat after already getting a strike and then having him turn around and bunt.
That pitch is taken for strike two. So 1-2 the count. Bunt should be off now. We'll see what kind of strategy they apply here. With a runner on second base, no outs. Looks ready to swing away. Here comes the delivery. Swung on and fouled. Back
Nice.
over the press box.
Nice job there, just staying alive, fighting off those pitches.
Here comes the 1-2 delivery. Again, fouled off. This one just over the first base side. Remains 1-2. More pitches you can see as a batter, the better.
Well, especially in these leagues where pitch counts do come into play. You keep racking up those pitches.
Do you know what the official pitch
I
count
do not.
is? Nor I. Stepping back is the pitcher, checking the runner over at second base. Comes set. Here's the delivery. Swung on, and this one is looped into shallow right. Caught for out number one. Runner will hold at second base. Good throw by the right fielder to hold him. So defense does its job for Harlingen. Keeps the runner over at second base. One away.
So for the Palomino League, you have 105 pitches in one day. 105 pitches.
Okay, and I don't believe we have a pitch count up there, but we'll have to keep an eye on it. We've got number 9 stepping into the box, He Long. First pitch in there for a strike. So Muniz has been better this inning throwing strikes, that's for sure. Walked the first batter, but the next two he's managed to get ahead of them. That pitch is high. 1-1 the count.
But one of the things you'll notice, especially even with that last batter, he went up there, he got 2 strikes on him, he fouled off a couple of pitches, and then put the ball in play. This Chinese Taipei team just putting the ball in play, making the defense work. You never know what's going to happen. As much as these are all-star teams,
That ball in there.
You still have mistakes that are going to be made defensively on both sides during this game, and so you want to just make them work, make them make those outs.
1-2 the count. This would be a big strikeout here if Muniz can put him away. Keep that runner over at second base. That is a hit by pitch, actually off the helmet of number 9, He Long, and he seems to be okay. They're checking him out, but yeah, it didn't seem to be too affected by it, but glad he's okay.
Yeah, he's going to take first base on that one. A little hit by pitch, just adding base runners for Chinese Pei.
Number 7, Yen Kuo-chin. He is the leadoff hitter. And first pitch is in there for a strike. He's a left fielder. And the maker of the baseball helmet can rest easy. Swung on and popped up into shallow right center. That is caught for out number 2 by the center fielder. Throw over to third base to hold the runner. And so now we are down to our final out here in the bottom of the second.
And again, if you're Harlingen, you've gotten into a little bit of a pickle the first 2 innings, but if you can get this pitch and get out of here, it's still just 1-0.
Number 4, Chen Chi-chun. Looking to do something for Taipei. First pitch on the outside half, called for strike 1. We getting any good comments over there?
We apologize if we didn't get to Liao Ji Hong Ji Yo. I hope I pronounced that correctly. You'll have to bear with us, guys.
That pitch fouled off.
During his at-bat. That's about all the comments we have right now, Blake.
Yeah, happens.
The people are quiet this morning. We do have 209 of you watching with us right now. We appreciate each and every one of you, wherever you may be out there. Interesting that we have, excluding the two Laredo teams, we have the closest team to Laredo playing what I'm going to assume is the furthest team from Laredo.
That pitch high, called for a ball.
That's Harlingen, only 185 miles from Laredo, Texas. Our team from Chinese Taipei, a little bit further, 7,915 miles.
Yeah, quite the trek. I wonder how many planes they had to take to get here, how many layovers or stops they had. This pitch way outside. Should bring the count to 2-2. Yeah, this would be a huge win for Harlingen once again if they can get out of this inning with no runs after some early struggles. Pitch swung on and fouled away. Count remains 2-2. 2 runners on with 2 outs. Yeah, I don't even imagine how many flights you have to take to get here. That's probably...
I've looked at going to Hong Kong a couple of times over in that general vicinity. I'm going to say it was at least a 14, 15-hour flight.
That pitch slowing away. Checking to see if it's a full count or 2-2. Waiting for the ump to throw his hands up. 2-2. Full count. So here comes the payoff pitch. Big moment here. Runner's going, and that pitch is outside for ball 4. So another big pickle here. Harlingen has managed to get out of these situations relatively unharmed, but now we've got bases loaded with 2 away.
And the number 3 man coming up in the order. And last time, coach has asked him to square around and bunt. He ended up hitting a sacrifice fly. I don't think he's going to be turning to bunt with the bases loaded 2 away here.
This is the third baseman. Lin Su Hao grounds it up the middle. Shortstop makes the play over to second base for out number 3. Showing some nerve there, making a big play to keep the score at just 1-0. Nice defensive play by the shortstop from Harlingen to make out number 3, keep his team right in the game.
Yeah, he wasn't going to flip that one over to his second baseman, which I thought for a second might be a dicey situation for him as the runner was bearing down on second base, but able to get over there and make the play.
Probably a good idea there. In that situation, just take it yourself and move on to the next inning, try and get that run back. All I'm saying is I didn't know Bradley Cooper could sing.
No, you said it was your favorite movie.
It is not my favorite movie. You know Top Gun is my favorite movie.
Yeah. This movie was fine. I never understood the love for it.
I mean, it's a musical.
It was fine.
It's a good song. It's a good soundtrack. Lady Gaga has a surprisingly good voice. I've always thought of her as kind of a pop star, and then she can sing.
Oh, she can sing. I don't think you get to the level of she's at very often if you can't sing. She can't act very well.
Yeah, well, I don't think they got her for her acting prowess.
She was playing Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper can sing. He did a good job for the most part.
He's pretty diverse, man.
He could.
Rocket Raccoon.
Well, come on. I mean, you got to go back.
Don't even start insulting Avengers.
Oh, I mean, I can insult Avengers all day long. We could be here for the next 3 hours. We could be here the rest of this game, and I could just throw jabs at the Avengers.
Not Rocket Raccoon, man. Rocket Raccoon and Groot, that relationship.
What I was going to say is
lives right here.
He's come a long way from Phil in The Hangover.
I remember that.
What was his name? What was his name in Old School? Or not Old School, but Wedding Crashers. What was his name? Was it Brad?
He was in The Hangover? Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, and he was in – that was his first movie. No, he was in Wedding Crashers first.
Wedding Crashers was first.
Here's Muniz, the pitcher, fouling off the first pitch for strike one. That's right.
He played a not very likable character in that movie.
Yeah. I do remember that. He's got that kind of like 80s villain look a little bit, at least early in his career.
Agreed.
Like he could have been in Gordon Gekko. What's the
Wall Street?
Wall Street? Slick back hair. On one the count. This pitch is swung on and lined into right field. Try to make the play over at first. Actually, a close play, but he's able to beat it out.
I like the play from the right fielder.
Yeah, that was aggressive
play.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Who's doing the live game? That's us.
Yeah, that's us.
Like here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. On two of the names for the Texas team,
Yeah.
like Danny Dial, it's not Dial, it's Dial, like the soap.
Oh, Dial. Okay, okay.
Yeah. And then on 11, which is it's Trey Guajardo.
Yeah.
I think you guys, I thought they had written down Gallardo, but it's Guajardo.
There was, I thought I.
One to nothing. Top of the third. This game moving along. Nice little pace.
Not supposed to say that.
I know, but I did.
Here we go. Like you said, scoring around to bunt. That one is pulled back, called for a strike. This is number 4. That's Jaime Uvalle. 0-2 the count. Going to shorten up the swing here, try and move the runner over. Swung on and missed. Looked like a breaking ball there. And he was way out in front. So that's out number 1 for Taipei. Coming up next, number 7, Matthew Calderon.
Batting next for Texas, number 7, Matt Calderon.
Calderon, the right fielder for Harlingen. Top Gun 2 looks like it's going to be awesome.
Driving over here last night and then driving over here, I was listening to a podcast called The Rewatchables.
Ball one outside. Sorry, keep going.
Discussing Top Gun. If you've ever listened to the podcast, Rewatchables just what it sounds like. It's movies that you can watch over and over again, and they dissect them. It's part of the Ringer podcast network with Bill Simmons.
Oh, like Bill Simmons.
Pretty interesting, pretty funny stuff they were going on and on about.
Attempted bunt there, sorry. That's fouled off.
About Top Gun, and it was an emergency podcast because the trailer for Top Gun: Maverick had just come out.
Man, looks good.
And I was wondering how long would it take us into this broadcast
For
to
me
start
to bring
talking
it up,
about
for
Top
me to bring
Gun.
it up, because I was going to. 2 strikes now. Bunt looks like it's going to be called off. And that pitch just misses. Good eye there. 2-2 the count. I was very worried. anytime there's a remake, if they tried to remake like Back to the Future now, I'd be very worried. And when they said they were going to make a Top Gun sequel, I said, oh no, that's not going to go well. But it looks okay. It looks pretty good.
It looks like it might be an actual shot-for-shot remake of the first one, which I don't think anybody would really complain about, but
Nope,
just kind of
not at all.
interesting.
Throw back over to first just to check the runner.
I like the lead he's got over there. That left foot just barely in the dirt.
Swung on, and that is lined foul down the right field line. Tom Cruise keeps pumping out those hits, man. I saw the last Mission Impossible. It was really good.
I haven't seen the last couple Mission Impossibles. I've heard they're good. I kind of went away from the franchise.
I did
after
too.
Part 2
I did not.
horrible,
I didn't
but-
watch any of the middle ones. I just watched the last one because I heard it was so good, and it was. That ball in the dirt.
I'm a little surprised right now. Harlingen has not tried testing out the catcher's arm. Runner at first over there. Muniz has a big lead. Obviously, with a full count, he may take off here at first. I'd like to see him put the game in motion. You've only had one base runner now as you've hit all the way through the order.
And that lead keeps getting bigger. Here he goes. Like you said, swung on and fouled off.
Not a whole lot of risk here if you send him. If for some reason Calderon does strike out and you get to strike him out, throw him out double play, you got the top of the order coming up. If he's able to get in safely, then you've got your leadoff man up with a runner in scoring position. So I expect him to be going again here. Again, especially with that lead. That last pitch, basically both feet were into the turf. For those of you watching at home, kind of an interesting setup Uni-Trade Stadium has. They just laid this down. Turf all the way around the field except for home plate and at the three bases, along with the mound.
Not going this time, and that is a called strike three. Umpire rings him up for out number 2. And Harlingen will strand the base runner at first for the time being as the top of the order, shortstop, number 8, Juan Zambrano.
Protecting number 8, Juan Zambrano.
He'll step into the box trying to get things going for Harlingen. You know, it's funny because, you know, we did a lot of high school games back in the day. That pitch fouled down the third base line, and I instinctively want to say Harlingen Cardinals. That just pops into my head, although I know the Harlingen South fans probably wouldn't appreciate that.
No, I'm sure there's a few kids from Harlingen South on this team, too. The Harlingen Cardinals, the high school team down there.
That pitch just misses 1-1 count. I'm just, you know, from back in our play-by-play days doing high school, it was Harlingen Cardinals a pretty common fixture of the replays we did, the highlights we did. This pitch swung on and popped up. That into left field. Should be an easy play, and there it is for out number 3. So Harlingen kept scoreless here in the top of the third. Go to the middle of the inning. Taipei looking to add to their 1-0 lead. So what other movies are you looking forward to? Is there any anymore? I don't know. Do you look forward to movies?
I still haven't seen Once Upon a Time in America.
Once Upon a Time in America. What is that?
Michael Blake has 2 young girls, everybody. You'll have to forgive him. So it's a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Oh, you're right. I love Tarantino.
I love him. I didn't
It's
know
Once
what-
Upon a Time in Hollywood.
In Hollywood, sorry. Once Upon a Time
That's
in
why I
Hollywood.
didn't know what you were talking about.
Okay, I figured you could pick up what I was laying down.
I do love
Once
me
Upon a
some
Time in Hollywood. There you
Tarantino. Inglourious Bastards, one of my favorites.
That's another one of the rewatchables. I sound like I'm plugging the Bill Simmons podcast.
That is
here,
a
but
great
It's another one
movie.
on his rewatchables feed if you want to check it out.
There's a couple of them that I can rewatch that are Tarantino. Pulp Fiction I can definitely rewatch. Not so much Django or The Hateful Eight.
I will say this. I went back when The Hateful Eight came out, and rewatched all of his movies except for Death Proof.
Yeah.
I didn't like that one the first time I saw it at all. I didn't really like Jackie Brown the first time I saw it. It's okay. It got a little bit better.
Yeah.
Django was better than I remembered.
Yeah, Django was good. You know why? It's because of Christopher Waltz. That actor, he could be in anything and I'd watch. He plays Hans Landa.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know Christoph Waltz.
He's awesome. That guy is just the way he talks is so intimidating.
Well, and you go back to Inglourious Bastards, and that first opening scene
where
is pretty intense, and it's a bunch of actors that nobody knows. It's like a long scene. It's probably about 15 minutes long.
Looks like a continuous shot, too.
And, it's interesting. Tarantino. So, yeah, that one, I don't know. Are you a horror guy? It 2 still to come out later on?
I actually liked It 1 quite a bit. Try to get my wife to watch it. She doesn't like those kind of movies. Uh-oh. But I loved it. Well, I watched It growing up as a kid, the original.
That movie might have given me the most nightmares.
It scared the bejesus out of me.
Yeah, the clown Pennywise coming up out of the
sewer.
Not out of the sewer. I just remember him coming up out of the drain in the shower.
Oh yeah,
at the school, and that scared the living bejesus out of me.
Number 6, the shortstop, Liu Ji-hong, leading off for Chinese Taipei. Bottom of the third.
Number 6,
1-0, the score remains. Yeah, I thought this reimagining of it was done really well. First pitch, low for ball 1. I got to tell you, Bales, I'm a little upset with the text I just got from my wife. Every time I ask her to go to scratch with me, she says no.
Uh-oh.
And she just texted me, that pitch in there for a strike, called strike, 1-1. She texted me, I'm going to scratch with my parents. I said, you, what? What? This pitch swung on, driven into left field, and that's going to fall in the gap roll all the way to the wall. And that is a leadoff double for the Chinese Taipei shortstop Ji-hong. And he got a hold of that ball.
Yeah, 3 innings now, and the leadoff man has gotten on all 3 times. So again, Harlingen going to have to work out of a jam. Nick Muniz not doing himself any favors, making it difficult on himself to keep his Harlingen team in this one.
And we're going to have a pinch runner over at second base. I'm going to try and get you a number.
In the box, number 8, Sung Chung Ray.
Sung Chung Ray squaring up to bunt, and that is beautifully placed down the third base line. And he's going to beat that throw, and the ball rolls past the first baseman, and that's going to be another run for Taipei.
They're actually going to say that ball got out of play as it rolled over towards the dugout. The umpire going to give the runner second base as well. And again, it comes down to fundamentals. And if you're Harlingen, that's when you just got to eat. That was an absolutely perfect bunt. Laid down, the pitcher trying to make the play. And I understand you're trying to do a little bit more than you probably should out there. And you want to make that play, but, man, that was going to be a tough throw with a guy barreling down the first baseline.
That was a perfectly executed bunt. That thing just died right beyond the dirt of the batter's circle, and that was a tough play. The pitcher had to move quickly to get the ball, turn and square himself, and throw over to first base, throwing across his body. That's why the ball drifted right on him. First baseman tried to make a play, but that was tough all the way around. Tough to ask a young man to make a play like that or have the wherewithal to just hold it and keep the runner at third. But everything has got some discussion from the coach from Harlingen. But it looks like everything will stand. Runner at second base, no outs. Number 3, Huang Chao Wei. And he's going to show bunt very early on as well. First baseman running on. That bunt is fouled for strike 1. Chao Wei turned to bunt. That pitch way outside. Great job by the catcher just to hold the runner at second there. He had to reach way out to make sure that ball didn't go all the way back to the backstop. So when he's trying to calm things down here, 2-0, still not a huge lead, and a wild swing and a throw out down at third base. And that was a hit and run for sure. And number 3, Huang Chao Wei, was just trying to put something on the ball. He had to reach way out and actually had to let go of the bat because it was so far outside. And the runner was caught trying to steal. So the Harlingen catcher showing that he is not to be messed with.
Yeah, we talked earlier about them maybe trying to steal, and Harlingen showing a strong arm behind the plate. A nice job. They're out of their catcher, Marco Sanchez, doing a nice job. He threw the ball away at first earlier in the game, coming back with a nice strong throw, totally redeeming himself there.
Totally redeem himself. Sorry, couldn't resist.
Yeah, that's okay.
So we've got a discussion amongst the umpires. I wonder if they're discussing whether or not that was a foul ball.
It looked like it was the Harlingen manager that came out. I'm wondering if he's asking, was that interference? Could the batter be called out as well?
And it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
The umpire made the motion of out, and yet the batter is still there. So I don't know if Chinese Taipei
Was arguing the call at third base.
Argued the call. I didn't see their manager say much of anything over there, but nonetheless, one away in the inning, and now nobody on base. And again, Harlingen now with a 1-2 count, a chance to get out of this inning.
Swung on and miss for strike 3. That's 2 away. So if Harlingen can escape with only 1 run given up this inning, although the deficit's now 2-0, that's still not a horrible position to be in.
Yeah, again, for what they've put themselves in, if you could only be down 2-0 after 3 complete innings, you would have to like your chances. You just got to get those bats moving.
Li Mengqi for Taipei pops this one up on the infield. Shortstop is waving everybody off. Under it, makes the play for out number 3. So another run tacked on by Chinese Taipei, but Harlingen still in the ballgame with a fighting chance, only down 2-0. We head to the top of the 4th. Can't believe she didn't go into scratch without me.
Sandwiches, I guess every sandwich has to be homemade, but very good sandwiches. I know I took my family to this establishment. And they enjoyed it while they were here. I feel sorry for you, Michael. I think you should stop on your way back and grab yourself a sandwich.
Her parents are paying. I don't want to spend my money.
And there you have it. I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the truth. just with wood.
Yeah. Working with hands.
I'm building a desk right now. But we got the bones done. I just need to put it. So what else you got planned for your Saturday, Bales? Just a relaxing day?
Need to get a little yard work in.
Oh, today? You better start at 8 o'clock.
Might be the idea. We'll see.
You're going to skip barbecue?
It's
Is it a work day?
No, it's not a work day, but for those of you listening, we go back to school on Monday. I'm a teacher at one of the local high schools here. So we go back to school on Monday. I also work as the sports director for the NBC affiliate here in town. So I work about 14 hours a day. I don't have time to do yard work during the week.
I'm trying to get a number on this batter, and I cannot. Do you know who this is?
It would be our number 2 hitter for Harlingen, the center fielder, Trey Gallardo.
Trey Gallardo?
Gallardo?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Gallardo. Sorry about that. It's 1-1 to him. He grounded out to first base in his first at bat, so 0 for 1 on the day for Trey.
That pitch swung on and fouled right back up over us.
Of course, my immediate plans after this game is to stay here and do another one with you, Michael Blake.
Oh, yeah. We'll be here for a while.
We got the first 2 games of the day.
Hope you guys out there aren't tired of hearing us because we got another one coming right up. That pitch outside called for a ball.
Game 2 here today will be Santa Clara against Youngstown, Ohio.
Who is the most famous alumni from Santa Clara? Swung on another foul pitch.
I'm going to assume it's Steve Blake is who you're talking about.
I thought it was John Stockton.
No, John Stockton went to Gonzaga.
Who went to Santa Clara? There's another one besides Steve Blake.
We'll find that out and let you know.
There's a
in the
base
next game.
hit to lead off right over the shortstop's head into left center. So Harlingen got a little life here going in the top of the 4th.
The second inning in a row now that they get the leadoff man on with a single. Last inning it was Nick Muniz singling, but being left stranded at first.
Steve Nash.
Oh, Steve Nash. That's who I was thinking of, not Steve Blake. Why did I say
Steve
Blake?
Nash.
Steve Blake went to Maryland.
Yes.
Won the national championship with Juan Dixon.
Steve Nash went to Santa
I
Clara.
had Steve right.
This is
I knew it wasn't John Stockton at least.
Daniel Dial. Daniel Dial showing bunt, and here goes the runner testing that arm, and it looks like he's going to slide in there safe. The throw from the catcher a little high. Either way would have been a close play.
Yeah, that was going to take a perfect throw. I think a perfect throw gets him. The throw came in just a bit high.
That was a great jump there.
And he was able to slide in safely, and I like that play out of Harlingen.
Yeah, got to get aggressive. That's right. And let's see what Dial does here, if he's going to still look to bunt. He's got the bat in close, but no, it looks like he's going to try and swing away. And that ball in the dirt gets away, and the runner holds up at second. Looks like he had time.
That's a tough one where if you don't get that read right away, you're in your secondary lead, you've come off another step or two, and if you don't see it immediately, you kind of freeze, and once you freeze, you're dead. So you might as well stay at second. The last thing you want to do is make that first out of the inning at third base.
Yeah, I don't want to get thrown out at third base, especially down 2 runs. And the throw back to second, not in time. Nice move by the shortstop.
Hey, he's got another big lead over there at second base, well out into the turf part of that part of the field.
Yeah, he's out of the dirt area. Here comes the pitch, swung on, and that is hit into left center. It is deep, and that's off the wall. That's going to score a run for Harlingen, and Dial is over to second base. with a double off the wall. He chased a high fastball and got every bit of it. Nearly put it out of the park.
Yeah, great job there by Dial getting after that one. You talked earlier in the game about chasing those high pitches. If you can catch up to that high pitch, you can do exactly that. Just put it right off the wall. So he hammered that ball, and again, the Harlingen coach hot about something.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what he's arguing here. They got the run, got a double. They still have no outs. And Harlingen starting to do some damage here in the fourth. Talking to somebody in the crowd, the coach is. Don't know exactly what's going on. The umpires are convening right next to the pitcher's mound. And the Harlingen coach is very upset. Lots of arm movements. Talking to the third base umpire.
I'm not sure if he's pointing to the stands, if he's pointing back towards his dugout.
I wonder if did he think the ball went out?
Maybe, I don't know. You had a better angle on that. I can't see down into that left field.
Well, I
corner.
definitely saw it bounce off the wall. And it's not a question of whether it was fair or foul, because it was clearly fair.
Yeah, he is not happy.
We'll try to get some clarification on what happened there. What? He's claiming that it hit the yellow line on the fence, which would technically be a home run. Tough to see from third base spot. He wants a home run to tie the game up.
I don't blame him for wanting a home run.
This is a Stebbins stepping in.
If you're going to see a home run out of these guys, it's probably going to be to left field. So he had a little bit of a pop.
That one is swung on and popped into shallow left field. Should be an easy play. That's out number one. That'll keep the runner at first. Yeah, you can see the flags. The wind is blowing that way. That's the shallow part. And that was hit really well without the benefit of some serious instant replay. That's a tough call to change.
Yeah, I mean, unless they call that right away. No instant replay here in Pony League. Even at the World Series. I always get nervous about that when I'm at these games with a camera in my hand. You have some sort of judgment call, and everybody turns to you and says, what was it? What was it? And I'm like, don't bring me into this.
Marco Sanchez stepping in, swings at the first pitch in the dirt, chasing a little bit. That's 0-1.
Marco 0 for 1 on the day. He grounded out to third back in the second inning.
Regardless of whether it was actually a home run or not, still a heck of a swing put on the ball by Dial, and able to get his team on the board, which was huge for Harlingen. That pitch in there for a called strike looked like a breaking ball. 0-2. Sanchez in a hole. One away still. Runner in scoring position, so you're going to have at least two opportunities pending a double play to bring Dial around after his leadoff double.
Was big, but to have a runner at second with nobody out, you want to give him an opportunity to score. First pitch, Chasen was the last batter popping up. Now Sanchez quickly down 1-2. Again, putting that ball in play. We've seen it already out of both these teams. You hit the ball, good things are going to happen. I know it sounds simple,
1-2
but
delivery,
it's true.
chop foul, back towards the Harlingen dugout. This Pony League's World Series, great event to have here in Laredo. They've got a great ballpark to do it in. A source of pride for this town, baseball is, for sure. Swung on and chopped towards shortstop. They're going to try and get the lead runner at third, and they do. Heads up play by the shortstop. Committed to making it to third.
I appreciate that he committed right off the bat. He didn't freeze, but the old rule of thumb is that if that ball's in front of you, you don't go. As he was getting his secondary lead, that one was kind of right in front of him. I'm wondering if he thought he could maybe shield off the fielder there at shortstop.
And now we've got the Harlingen coach once again.
But like you said, a great play, good heads up from the shortstop to the third baseman there, getting that lead runner. Now if you're Taiwan, you gave up back-to-back hits to start off this inning, and now you can get out of it still with a one-run lead.
Jesus de Leon is the scheduled next batter. Might be a lineup change here as the coach from Harlingen is having a discussion with the blue. Yeah, that was a great play from the shortstop. He really, I mean, that takes some fortitude to try and make that play and to execute it properly. Thinking it in your head and then making it happen, two different things. It looks like we're going to have a pinch runner situation. That's right. Number 5 is going to step in to run. That's Enrique Alvarado. He's going to move over to first base and see if it can spur something for Harlingen, try to bring this game even. So after the home run call that the coach wanted didn't come through, Dow gets thrown out at third on a fielder's choice. You can see why the coach was upset.
Fundamental baseball, though. It's those little things that can come back to bite you.
That pitch swung on and fouled back. Straight away, 0-1 the count. We've got a 2-1 game here in the top of the fourth. 2 outs, 1 runner on for Harlingen. Jesus de Leon digging in, way out in front of that one, but able to hold himself back. 1-1 count. So far, a pretty good ball game.
Low scoring affair, just 2-1.
Harlingen been in more trouble, but managed to get out relatively unharmed. Throwback to first, not in time. I would say that Taipei has probably stranded more batters so far in this game. Another throwback. That one, again, not in time.
You would be correct. So Harlingen had not stranded, or they had stranded one hitter, excuse me. They had stranded one hitter. Taipei has left 5 men on base.
Good size lead. No, not going. That pitch misses outside. That'll be a 2-1 count. Runner down over at first is dancing a little bit, trying to throw the pitcher off his game. They seem worried about him, like he might go. Doesn't there, and that's another ball.
If I'm the coach, I'm telling him, just focus. Focus here at the plate. Get this man out, and we're done. We get out of the inning, we come back up, let your bats come to work for you again. Don't worry about that guy over at first. He's dancing just to dance. If he wants to take off,
let him.
Trust your catcher that he can throw him out at second.
3-1 the count. Nice count here for Harlingen. Not going again. Swung on and fouled. Back up over our heads and out of play. So now we come to a full count, 2 out. Runner should be moving on this pitch. That'll give him a bit of an advantage if Harlingen is able to put the ball in play. And there he goes. Pitch called. Strike 3. Batter threw his bat, thought it was outside. He was getting ready to trot on down to first base, but that is called for strike 3. Harlingen coach not too happy with the batter, actually.
2 strikes. You got to put that ball in play. You can't sit there and take called strike 3, especially for the 3rd out of the inning with a man on. A tough go there for Harlingen. They do get on the board, though. 1 run on 2 hits. So they're on the scoreboard and cutting that Chinese Taipei lead in half.
I saw Far From Home. That was pretty good. Spider-Man. That was pretty good, yeah. I still haven't seen the first one. Oh, you know what we saw that was pretty good? Charlie's Theron. Oh, really? What was his name? What's the other guy? The guy last second. Yeah, separate. Yeah. That was pretty good. It was funny. That was.
Perfectly along the
Yeah, it was like Sunday.
Coming up to bat for Chinese Taipei. Number 14,
Ukai-un leading things off. What kind of feedback we getting over there, bro? I hope you guys are enjoying what we're bringing to your airwaves.
192 of you watching it right now, and a lot of Go Texas Go is what I see on our feed right now. It is about 11 o'clock over in Chinese Taipei, so on Saturday night.
We've got a good game brewing here. Bottom of the 4th, just a 2-1 game. Let's see if Muniz can, and a leadoff bunt shown, pulled away, called for strike 1. See if Muniz can settle in a little bit. He's been a little erratic. He's had his ups and his downs. Giving up only 2, which is nothing wrong with that. Swung on and missed for strike 2. 0-2 the count, ahead early. He's had some stretches where he's been really solid, and then a couple where he's had trouble finding the strike zone.
Yeah, Texas 1 run on 3 hits, 2 errors. Chinese Taipei 2 runs.
Called strike 3. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and 1 out. That's the kind of start Harlingen was looking for here in the bottom half of the 4th.
It's the first time in the 4 at-bats for Taipei that they have not got the leadoff man on.
He Long.
That's number 9, Hu Long.
He'll be the second batter of the inning. And there's a wild pitch, goes behind the batter. Like I said, he's been somewhat erratic where he throws 3 straight beautiful pitches and then sails one behind the batter.
Long must have a wondering what Muniz has against him. He got hit in the helmet his first time up. That one coming in nice and high. Number 9 hitter saying, "What did I do to you, man?"
Next pitch is swung on and just lifted right over the second baseman's head. Not intimidated at all after being hit by a pitch and then a wild pitch. Long is able to just put enough to get it over the second baseman's head, and a leadoff. Excuse me, that's not the leadoff. That's the second batter of the inning. He is on with 1 away. Yen Kuo-chin.
That's number 7, Yen Ku Shin.
He'll step in with one away and a runner on first. I'm reminded of that scene in Bull Durham. Throwback, not in time. Catcher runs out and tells Meat, throw it at the bull. Then he runs back to the batter and says, I don't know where these pitches are going to go. And he rings him up on 3 straight pitches because the batter is just so flustered by the wild pitch. But that previous batter was not. Swung on it. Got a base hit. 1-0 the count. Throw back over to first. That's one of my favorite baseball movies, Bull Durham.
Not bad.
I like it.
It's all right.
I like it.
A little too much Susan Sarandon for me.
Yeah, I mean, there was a little bit too much. But a lot of great sayings.
It was more of a romantic comedy to me.
It wasn't a baseball movie per se. I mean, it was a romantic comedy that had baseball in it. But 2-0 the count now. But I do like it. There's a lot of great sayings from that movie.
There is.
I feel like there's more insights of a veteran catcher than you got from, let's say, Major League, which is a better baseball movie. That ball gets away from the catcher. Runner will move over to second. I felt like I knew more about baseball after watching Bull Durham than I did after watching Major League.
That's fair. I think that's fair. Well,
although I like Major League better as a baseball movie.
see, there you go.
Pitch high. Field of Dreams probably the best ever baseball movie, though.
I would agree with you. Field of Dreams is probably my favorite.
So now we've got 2 on. Chen Chie-chun stepping in with 1 away and 2 runners on. As we said, Taipei has stranded well more batters than Harlingen. First pitch in there for a called strike 1. Let's see if Harlingen can once again find a way to battle themselves out of this hole with 2 runners on and only 1 man out.
David asking what age bracket is this? This is the 18 and under Palomino age bracket. So these kids, mostly high schoolers.
That's right. 1-1 the count. That pitch in the dirt. Yeah, these kids, they're pretty skilled. These kids would be juniors and seniors in high school. Swung on and popped down the right field line. Right fielder coming over to make a play on it, and it falls in for a foul ball. Kind of in no man's land there. Everybody converging and nobody able to get there.
Yeah, that's a tough one. It's a long run for the right fielder. The first baseman is trying to play it over his head, which is never easy to do, especially for an infielder not used to chasing down fly balls. The second baseman actually has the best angle on that and should make the play, but just not able to get over there in time. And unfortunately for Muniz and Harlingen, that's one that you were kind of hoping to get as you're trying to get out of another jam. Despite getting the leadoff man out, he's got 2 on with only 1 away here.
1-2 count. Only 1 strike away from getting that second out. That pitch misses, so now 2-2. If he can manage to get an easy ground out or strike out here, they'll be only 1 out away from escaping yet again.
Well, he's looking to get the pitcher's best friend. That's a ground ball right at one of his infielders, preferably second or short. Roll up a double play and get back into the dugout.
Pitch high. So now we run the count full. Big situation here for Harlingen. Runners on first and second, and now we've got a full count, only 1 away.
And you can see he really wanted that one. Put a little more oomph into it, and a lot of times what happens when you do that, the pitch goes high, and that's exactly what happened to Muniz.
Big pitch here, and it is outside. This becomes a pretty pivotal moment here for Harlingen. You're only down 1. You've got 1 away. If you can find some way to get out of this jam, you've got a really good chance to mount a comeback in the remaining innings.
Next for Chinese Taipei, number 5, Lin Zhu Hao.
Lin Chu Hao
And it doesn't look like there's anybody warming up with any sort of vested interest down in the Harlingen bullpen. So this one's going to be on Muniz to get out of.
It's a big moment because right here, if the Taipei manages to get any kind of base hit, your gap becomes much more difficult to overcome. And the first pitch is low and away for a ball.
And now you're facing the number 3 hitter. 0 for 2 on the day, but you know he's potent, can do something at the plate.
Next pitch, grounded right at the shortstop. Here's a chance for double play. They get the first one and the second. A huge defensive stop for Harlingen to get the double play. And once again, they battle their...
Loaded to the number 3 batter there, and as we said, he got a ground ball. It wasn't real hard hit, but it was right at the second baseman. They were able to flip to second, on to first, the 4-6-3 double play. I thought for a second there they might beat it out at first. It was a bang-bang play, but Harlingen gets out of it. They still down only 1 run here as we go to the top of the 5th.
Yeah, I really did. Like, I felt like you get Kevin Costner plays that factor and teaching lessons to young kids, you know? And I felt like I knew more about baseball after that.
I saw on Simmons' regular podcast, he had Costner on. They were talking about I think Ron Shelton was catcher.
So the pitcher, Nick Muniz, will lead things off for Harlingen. Going to try and help his own cause here. Let's see if Harlingen can
Next at bat, number 18, Nick Muniz.
capitalize off the momentum they got from that game-altering double play. First pitch is a called strike. And that pitch in the dirt, Muniz chasing. Not a very confident swing there. He is down 0-2. And this one is lined down the right field line. It is going to drop. Not a hard hit ball, but enough to put Muniz on first base with no outs.
And he's helping out his own cause, 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. Last time, though, left stranded as the next 3 men went down in order. It's the bottom of the order right now for Harlingen. Jaime Uvai.
We're going to actually have
come out pitch hitter.
We're going to have a pinch hitter. Yeah, that's Ray Rivera. Going to step in, his first at bat of the game.
Next at bat, number 12, Fernando Rivera.
Harlingen going to see if changing up the lineup a little bit will do good. And the bunt is fouled out of play towards the Taipei dugout. Had to stand up, man. My knees were getting tired. Yeah, it feels good. Rivera squaring the bunt again. That one in the dirt. He pulls away. Runner goes, and he is over to second base. Now let's see what the strategy is here. Do you continue to try and move him over? A little bit more difficult of a bunt for a right-hander to put it down the first baseline, or do you want to put it to the third baseline?
I mean, in this situation, I actually think it's easy. For me, it was always easier to push a bunt to first than it was down the third baseline as a right-handed hitter. If you want to stick with the small ball, I would push it down, make that third baseman field the ball, because that's pulling him away from the bag. If I'm defensively, I'm keeping my third baseman there and having my pitcher cover that spot, but that becomes a difficult throw for the pitcher, as we saw with Harlingen earlier this game, where Chinese Taipei was able to score their second run on a perfect bunt. Pitcher Muniz, a tough throw across his body, all the way across the diamond as well. But you saw on that one, the third baseman didn't move. In fact, he's now back playing just behind the bag, obviously with 2 outs, not expecting a bunt here out of the hitter.
2 strikes, 1 and 2.
2 strikes, yeah.
That pitch is low for ball 2, 2 and 2. I actually think we didn't notice this, but I think we have a change in pitching for Taipei. Number 17 is pitching. I do not believe he was a starter. Swung on and missed for strike 3. First out of the inning. Still an opportunity for Harlingen to even this game up. Yes, the starting pitcher was Lee Chen Sun. And right now we've got make sure I get this right, Lee Shun Chun.
Well, I'm glad you got his name in there, because he's now coming out and will not be pitching anymore.
So they're going to change out real quick.
One of the things you have to remember, again, going back to the pitch count, it's not just about how many pitches in a single game. It's how many pitches in a single day for these guys. They only get 105 max pitches, and we haven't talked about it yet, but whoever wins this game is going to be playing again later on this afternoon. They will be taking on the host team from Laredo at 5 p.m. right back here at Uni-Trade Stadium. So what happens is, if they get to 30 pitches, they don't have to rest. They can take no rest day, and so they can come back and throw. You get to that 31 to 45 pitches, now you need a day off. You get to 60 pitches, you need 2 days off, or 46 pitches, you need 2 days off. So there's a whole set amount here, and these coaches, you get into these tournament settings, and they're paying attention to it. Chinese Taipei really paying attention to it with this, their third pitcher now in 4+ innings of work. So knowing that they've got another game coming up today, if they're able to win this one, becomes quite the chess match.
And we've got Shu Luo She.
And in fact, no matter what, it looks like they will be playing another game. The loser of this one will go and play at 2 p.m. right back here at Uni-Trade Stadium. So it's no matter what, these teams playing 2 games today, and that pitching very vital in these tournaments. Double elimination style, so you've got to have quite the arsenal of pitchers, and it looks like Taipei feels very comfortable with at least 3 of their kids. You don't often see this in a 2-1 game, low-scoring affair where your pitchers have been pretty good, and you need to win this one to stay in that winner's bracket. But as we saw early on with Taipei, they play that small ball, and maybe don't go the conventional way a lot of times on what a lot of coaches would, but they do what they do, and they do it well, obviously, to make it here to the World Series.
That's right. So new pitcher for Taipei, Che, facing Matt Calderon. Righty-righty matchup.
Number 7, Matt Calderon.
We've got 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Runner on second after a leadoff single, then a pass ball. And a base hit could likely pull this game even at 2 if Calderon can deliver. First pitch swung on and missed for strike 1. That was some heat there. That was straight heat.
Well, and the other thing that it does, bringing in new pitchers like this, guys only get one look at him. So you're not able to see what he has.
Next pitch, and it looks like time was called. Oh, they called a balk.
Yeah, it looked like he did not come set for the 1 second.
So a balk was called, and that puts Harlingen in a great spot. Now with a runner at third and only one away, all it's going to take is a fly ball into the outfield, and we should at least have an opportunity for Harlingen to pull even.
And it looks like Chinese Taipei is going to pull the infield in. Everybody's going to be around either on the green or one step off of it. It used to be on the grass, but more and more, none of these fields with actual grass.
Looks great, though. I do like the ball moves a little quicker on that turf, but it is a nice-looking field. Here's the pitch. Runner is going, and the bunt is not converted, and the pickle gets Muniz out. I'm going to say I do not agree with the suicide squeeze play.
Yeah, you could see that coming a mile away where the manager had come down to talk to him. Great job by Chinese Taipei. It looked like that ball kind of low and outside, a difficult pitch to bunt, and hanging the runner out to dry.
I'm not going to go too far in criticism, but with only one away, to have an out go that way, that's got to hurt if you're Harlingen.
It does hurt. You had an opportunity there. Maybe you go with the safety squeeze where the runner waits until the bunt is put down. That way you're not running yourself into an out there, but an aggressive move by the manager for Harlingen just didn't pan out. Again, it's those little things in baseball. Sometimes they work out for you. Sometimes they don't. As that pitch.
So the situation now completely reversed. No runners on, 2 outs, 2 strikes. And after a promising start, 1 pitch away, and there it is, called strike 3. And after a leadoff single and a runner on third base with only 1 out, Harlingen comes away with nothing, and the score remains 2-1 Taipei as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Muniz still pitching for Harlingen as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Liu Jihong will lead things off for Chinese Taipei.
Up to bat for Chinese Taipei, Liu Jihong.
A lot of action in the last couple of innings.
Well, you're seeing the difference, like we talked about, Blake, with the difference in coaching philosophies when it comes to their pitchers. When he's going the distance so far for Harlingen, whereas Taipei has mixed it up. They've gone with 3 different pitchers already. Coach
Yeah.
Harlingen saying, all right, Mooney's, it's your ball. Go get it. We're leaving you out here. They've got another game coming up either at 5 o'clock tonight in the winner's bracket, if they can scratch across another couple of runs and come from behind for the victory, or in the elimination bracket, the loser's bracket, they'd play at 2 o'clock today. Again, right back here at Uni-Trade Stadium.
So we're in the bottom of the 5th. 7-inning game for anyone who might be wondering how long these games go. We've got 7 innings.
And I've been told no time limit on these games.
Okay.
A lot of times when you get into these tournaments, there will be a 2-hour time limit to kind of keep things moving. I haven't verified that with the officials.
Oh,
Here at Palomino, one of the coaches was telling me no time limit, so it's 7 innings all the way through.
Breaking ball in there for strike 1. As Moniz with a nice start to the bottom of the 5th. That one in the dirt. 1-1 count.
Cleanup man up for Taiwan. 1 for 2. Flew out to right, a little sacrifice fly, so we'll give him 1 for 1. He had a double in his last at bat, came around to score. The second run of the game for Taiwan.
Third pitch high, 2-1 the count. And if you're Harlingen, you're just hoping to keep this a 1-run game here in this inning. You got 2 more opportunities to try and even it up. 2-1 pitch is grounded right up the middle. Diving stop, able to stop the ball there from going into center field, but tough play to make. That's going to be ruled as a hit. Great effort by the shortstop, laying out to knock the ball down, but it's still going to result in a base hit for the leadoff hitter.
Yeah, Zambrano making a nice play there to knock it down. It was going to be tough play even if he fields it cleanly to get the out at first. But you got to appreciate the effort and the hustle there.
Sun Chung Ray is next in the batter's box for Taipei. Runner on first. Taipei seems to get a runner on with their leadoff guy often.
Yeah, out of their 5 at-bats now, they've done it 3 times.
That first pitch is a ball, 1-0 the count.
4 times.
Second pitch misses as well. So 2-0 the count now. Runner on first, no outs. So 4 to 5 times Taipei has been able to put the leadoff runner on. Only 2 runs out of that, though, so Harlingen has to be happy with that.
Yeah, they've been doing a great job of working out of these jams, but sooner or later, this is going to come back to bite you as he's now 2-0.
And I might be wrong, but I thought that was 3-0. I could be wrong. We'll see here. Runner not going that pitch in for a strike. That's the first strike. At least we know that much. We'll stick with 2-1 as a count. Yep, looks like that's right, 2-1. Third baseman is playing in, expecting a bunt, which is laid down right back to the pitcher. Third baseman making the throw, and a good play to get the out over at first base does move the runner over. So both respective players doing their jobs. The bunt moves the runner over, and the third baseman making a nice play, running up on that ball and making a good throw over to first in order to get the out.
Yeah, and that was not an easy play. I appreciate the hustle. He came in. He wanted that one. Called the pitcher off right away. But that ended up being a tougher angle throw with his momentum carrying him towards that first baseline. The angle was tough. Tough play by the first baseman to avoid the runner as he's coming through. But a nice job to get the out. A nice job by Taiwan as they get their desired outcome as well. You'd love to have that runner on first if the throw is wild, but all things considered, Taiwan, Chinese Taipei, they'll take it.
Huang Cho Wei, next batter for Taipei, 1-0. First pitch low. Second pitch, breaking ball in there for a called strike, 1-1. Taipei with a runner in scoring position, trying to add to that 2-1 lead. Here's the pitch. That is just outside. Makes it 2-1. Pretty moderate lead over at second base. That pitch called strike 2. So 2-2 count, 1 away. Runner on second, Hong Cho Wei trying to move the runner to third.
Looked like a nice job by the catcher framing that one up. He had moved some with his glove, and when you see that wild movement with the glove, a lot of times you won't get the call. Harlingen did there.
That pitch in the dirt. Catcher, nice job to block it and keep the runner over at second. So now we've got a full count.
Sanchez doing another nice job, as you said there, Blake, smothering that ball. Last thing you want to do is allow that runner to get to third with less than 2 outs, as then it becomes a wild pitch. Any pass ball, anything can happen with a runner at third. So a nice job stopping, dropping, blocking that one in the dirt.
Big pitch here for Muniz. And here it comes, swung on and fouled back.
Now, probably swinging at ball 4, but I like the aggressiveness. You got 2 strikes on you. You better be protecting that plate. Anything close, you better be swinging.
Yeah, it's a tough judgment call to make when you got a full count, but if you think it's got any chance at all of being close to a strike, you've got to make an attempt. So here we go, 3-2 is the count. Big moment here for both teams. Pitch is on, and that is looped into right field. Tough run for the right fielder, but able to make it. Big out there for Harlingen as that one drifted over the second baseman's head. Right fielder, number 7. That's Matt Calderon. Had to make a big run to get it, but he's there in time.
Yeah, Calderon doing a nice job. He came hustling in, not playing real deep. Again, this is a big ballpark. This park is the home for the Mexican League, Los Dos Laredos Tecolotes. So it's a professional-sized park. For those of you not familiar with that, it's basically AAA baseball, if you will. I mean, it's some good players. It's a big ballpark. So the outfield is not playing real deep out there. It was a long run, but he made it.
Lee Mong-shi fouls it down the first base line, and once again, Harlingen able to avoid any further damage, battling their way out of a jam. The score remained 2-1 with only 2 innings left to play. 2 more at-bats for Harlingen to try to even this up. That's what I say will have been the story thus far, is Harlingen able to fight their way through adversity and hang on, trailing only by 1 run. Should be a great finish here.
Yeah, Harlingen, though, down to 6 outs. They need to get the bats going. As 1 run on 4 hits, 2 errors for Texas. Chinese Taipei, 2 runs on 5 hits, no errors on their part. So we got 2 more innings to play left here in game number 7 of this Palomino League World Series. Stay with us. We'll be back after this quick timeout.
Harlingen with only 6 outs remaining in the game. First pitch swinging, foul tipped and caught by the catcher for strike 1.
Lead off, man up. So 1, 2, and 3 in the order for Harlingen. It's starting to feel like now or never
That pitch high, 1-1 the count.
for the team from the Valley.
Yeah, they've got to start getting something going. They've only had a couple of opportunities this game. That pitch swung on and missed for strike number 2, 1-2. 2 opportunities. One they were able to capitalize on and get a run across the board. The second, they had their pitcher Muniz caught in a pickle between third base and home plate, and he was thrown out. That pitch fouled back, high fastball, but he is alive.
Trying to stay at the plate, staving off those high fastballs. Harlingen seems to like those. They got a hold of one of them. That was their biggest double that their manager was claiming was a home run.
And called for strike 3 as another Harlingen batter goes down looking. That's the first out of the inning for the Taipei. Yeah, that as we move into the final 5 outs of the game, that home run controversy looking more and more important.
Yeah, you get in a pitcher's duel like this where you need every single run you can get. He put up a good fight. Looked like he was making a good argument, waving his hands around. But in these games, if the umpire doesn't call it initially, getting a call overturned is going to be awfully difficult. As you see, batter called looking. That's the 5th time as the number 2 man, number 11, stepping in there.
Number 11, that's Ruben Guajardo. And we've got a 1-1 count. So that's the 5th backwards K for Chinese Taipei pitching staff.
And if you're Harlingen, that'll make you pull your hair out watching strike 3. That hurts just as much as watching your pitchers walk batters.
Another swing and a miss. 1-2 now. And that one is fouled away. Pitcher for Taipei seems to be in a little bit of a groove here. Doesn't waste much time. He's keeping the ball in the strike zone. That's so. Make sure I got this correct. No, it's Shu Luoche.
One of the things I've noticed, all 3 of the guys seem to work out of the stretch. None of them out of the windup. So they keep that same motion no matter what, whether there's a runner on or not. They're working out of the stretch, and it's that repetition over and over again, not changing anything based off of the situation.
And that pitch lifted, foul, back up and over the catcher. 1-2 count remains with 1 away. Here, top of the 6th.
That one went windshield hunting.
I think so. Mine already has a pretty large crack, so wouldn't bother me if it hit mine.
Mine is fresh. I parked a little further away. Made sure. Always look for that big SUV to park next to.
Pitch high. That'll bring the count to 2-2.
As the sports director here, I go to a lot of baseball games, and earlier this year I had pulled into one of our local parks for a baseball game, a high school game. I said, I'm not going to be here very long. Should I back it in? No, I'm going to park kind of by the field. Wouldn't you know, after 9 years, first busted windshield.
Swung on and missed for strike 3. That's 2 away. And Chinese Taipei is dealing here in the top of the 6th with 2 strikeouts back-to-back to lead things off.
It's like the 3rd pitch when I was there. Kid hit a foul ball, and I turn and I just hear thunk. And, of course, one of the parents next to me, oh, that was your car. Thanks. Thanks. I saw. I don't need your play-by-play on that one.
Here's Dial back up to the plate. Pitch is high. Thought about chasing it again. Of course, that's the pitch that he nearly hit out of the park last time. But he fends himself off. 1-0 is the count.
Dial with the only extra base hit for Harlingen. That double coming back in the 4th.
Another high pitch. Another ball. 2-0.
the third inning.
Looks like these pitchers know what he likes. They are both pitches have missed high. Maybe they're trying to get him to chase a little bit.
Fourth inning, I had it right. I don't know why I second guessed myself.
Shouldn't do that. Another high pitch, 3-0. Feel like they're testing him.
And that's one there where the Chinese Taipei pitcher not finishing all the way through. He's kind of dragging that back leg, not getting it all the way down. You got to finish your pitches. My cohort here, Michael Blake, a very good golfer. The same thing. You got to finish your swing. You don't finish that swing.
And that is ball 4.
And it's those mechanics come into play.
Used to be a good golfer.
Yeah, you still are a good golfer.
Relative. It's relative. I appreciate the compliment.
You're not a hacker.
That I am not. Number 14. This is Elijah Estevanes.
The cleanup man going to dig in for Harlingen. Again, you got to start to wonder. Only 4 outs left for the team from South Texas. Can they make something happen here?
First pitch just a bit outside for ball 1.
I like the approach taken here. You go up there, make them throw you a strike. Yes, Chinese Taipei has been good at doing that all game long, but you need base runners right now. You need guys on base. Take until you get a strike. Make him come in with a perfect pitch.
And there it was.
He comes in with a strike there. All right, now go to work.
1-1 count, 2 away, runner on first. Perhaps they were not playing around with Dial, making sure that he's not the one that beats him. Gave up that base on 4 straight pitches. Next pitch swung and foul tip caught by the catcher for strike number 2. Yeah, this pitcher seems to, all 4 pitches were high to Dial, and now he seems to have no problem getting the pitches down low. I wonder if they were just staying away from him.
They may have. It may have been an intentional walk, or however you want to put that.
1-2 pitch, just a bit low, breaking ball, misses, 2-2.
Dial was also chasing those high fastballs, so you may have just been trying to get him to go after something. I don't like that strategy if you were putting him on in that situation. I don't want the go-ahead run at the plate. I don't want the tie-in run on base at all. You've got a pitcher that's gone after guys, struck out the first 2 batters of the inning. Let him do his work.
2-2 pitch, just outside, runs the count full. So if Harlingen can manage to get a batter on here, or at least runners on first and second, they'll have at least a shot.
Now you're making your pitcher work. You've taken him out of his rhythm. If that's the case, we don't know if that's what Taipei was doing, but you had 2 straight strikeouts and then a 4-pitch walk. Now you've got a full count situation and things getting a little hairy.
That one is swung on and missed for strike number 3. And that will do it for Harlingen here in the top of the 6th. Still remains 2-1 in favor of Chinese Taipei. That time it was the Taipei battling out of a little bit of a situation. We head to the bottom half. The Taipei is going to try to add some padding onto their score. Try and make it a little more difficult for Harlingen to come back from that 2-1 deficit.
Yeah, I got the 8 and 9 batters due up to start things off, and then back around to the top of the order for Chinese Taipei. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. Still a 2-1 game. And we thank you guys for watching. 202 of you out there today. We appreciate that. Getting notices of heavy rain in North Texas this morning. So be careful out there. If you're in North Texas, it's a long ways away from where we're at here in South Texas. Yes, this is high school 18 and under baseball, the Palomino World Series. 2nd year in a row now that it has been held here in Laredo. Chinese Taipei, they have been here 4 times now, and they have showed up and showed out when they come to this World Series. This is the 4th time they've also been here. As we said last year, they came in 2012 and 2009 two-time champions of this tournament. They won in 12 and 18. They were runners-up in 2009, so when Teo Wan has gotten here, they do well. 2 championships. They had to beat out Korea and Japan. Korea and Japan to get here. They played in a round-robin style tournament, winning 4-1 over Japan in their first game, and then topped Korea 6-2 to win it all. So that's how they got here. They're looking to pick up their first win in their first game. Harlingen, of course, won yesterday. The winner of this one gonna move on to play at 5 p.m. against the host team from Laredo. There's actually 2 Laredo teams in the mix this weekend. One of the teams dropped out, so they had to scramble a little bit to get a second team into the mix to keep the bracket going. They were able to find a team.
And Moniz is going to stay in there. He's going to go the distance, it looks like.
And at this point, if he's not up to his pitch count, he's not coming back to pitch today. In fact, I believe, depending on how many pitches he has, he's got to be up around that 61 to 80 mark. If he goes that far, he needs 3 days of rest, which would mean he's not pitching the rest of the game. The rest of this tournament, we got to assume he's over 61 pitches. That's the cutoff mark. If you go over 61, you need at least 3 days of rest. You go over 81, you now need 4 days. So Muniz is done for the rest of this tournament, no matter what at this point. You might as well keep the ball in his hands. He's done a great job.
No, he has. He's gotten into some situations, but battled out. We got Luo Hao Tsun leading off for the Chinese Taipei. Third baseman playing up awfully close. Don't know if they're expecting something here. Curveball misses, and that'll put the count at 1-1.
So you see the difference. Muniz right now working out of the windup.
Another breaking ball, and did that hit him? It appears that it did.
Yeah, it made that dead thud sound of the helmet. Sometimes when the ball gets high like that behind a hitter, you'll see it bounce off the bat. It'll actually be a foul ball.
So that is the 5th time in 6 innings that Chinese Taipei has had their leadoff runner on. We are going to get a pinch runner over at first base. Number 13, Sun Chui Sun, will step in and run.
That's the amazing thing to me for Muniz is, like you said, he's allowed the leadoff man to get on 5 out of the 6 times at bat, and yet he's only given up the 2 runs. So he's been able to work himself out of these jams. And he's only given up 5 hits, but 7 walks.
He Long will be the next batter for Taipei. 7 walks can be difficult to overcome. Usually when you give the leadoff man first base, it doesn't end well. Next pitch in the dirt.
It's actually quite impressive that he's only given up the 2 runs, giving up 12 base runners over 6 innings, 5+ innings, really. That means that on average, 2 guys are getting on base, more than 2 guys getting on base every inning.
That pitch misses as well, and the batter for Taipei showing bunt, but no strikes delivered so far by Muniz. Runner over at first base has a healthy lead. Got a little spring in his step. That pitch looks to be fouled away.
In fact, Muniz has yet to get a clean inning. Chinese Taipei has sent up at least 4 batters in every inning. And in fact, the last inning, they only sent up 4. That was his best inning of the game.
2-1 the count.
So he's almost gotten a little stronger as things have gone on. But going to have to work out of another jam here.
Another bunt. That one sails over the head of the batter, and an easy walk over to second base for the leadoff hitter. So now, once again, Harlingen finds himself in a troublesome situation with no outs, runner on second, and a 3-1 count.
That was a tough one. It looked like Muniz was almost trying to aim that ball. He's trying to almost push it in. Wanted to be so perfect with it, and that's what happens a lot of the time.
Bunt laid down, going to try and get the runner at first, and they do. Nice play by the first baseman to make that throw. Looked over at third base just long enough to where he had time to get the runner at first, but Taipei does what they wanted to do. They move the runner to third base and now have a chance to push this lead by another run with just a sacrifice fly.
You have your leadoff man coming up here. Harlingen obviously down a run here in the bottom of the sixth inning. They're going to pull the infield in. Everybody's going to be right around that grass. And as you talked about, this turf, the ball gets through quickly.
Yen Kuo-chun with a base hit right back up the middle, and that'll push the Taipei lead to 3-1, and that hurts if you're Harlingen. Now you've got to overcome 2 runs instead of 1 in order to push this game even further.
I like the aggressiveness there. First pitch swing going right back up the middle, not going to even give a chance for those infielders to make a play.
Yeah, they were all up front. They were all moved way up, and they just no time for them to react and get to that ball. Chen Che-chun, the next batter for the Taipei, another wild pitch and another runner over to second base with only 1 away. So the coach coming out to talk to Muniz says already a couple of wild pitches and a base hit in this inning and a hit batsman.
Not the way Muniz probably wanted to finish this game out, as he just has struggled. Can't get out of this inning like he's done so many times before today. Got a long talk out there. Not looking like they're going to pull him here.
Yeah, I can't tell if they've got anybody warming up. But
there is some action in the bullpen. Not sure if they're ready to go. Coach is just stalling as long as he can to try and get somebody ready to go. I'm coming out, trying to break up this meeting of the minds. Manager's going to come off for the time being.
And Muniz going to stay in the game.
Looks like he was looking down to the bullpen to see, is he ready? Is he ready? This might be one of those situations where the manager comes right back out, giving his guy a couple more pitches.
Yeah, really not in any hurry to walk back to the dugout is the Harlingen manager. So as it stands, 1-0 count, 1 away, runner on second. Muniz with a delivery, and that is swung on and belted into left field, and that is going to go all the way to the wall over the left fielder's head, and that's another run for Taipei, a stand-up double. And the score is now 4-1. And here comes the Harlingen manager. I got to believe that's going to be it for Muniz.
Well, it's a second visit in the inning, so it's got to be it for him. Left him in there, 1 pitch, too long. A great outing by Muniz. He battled all day long. Probably didn't have his best stuff as he walked quite a few guys. But he was a gamer out there, kept his team in it for 6 innings. This 7th inning, or bottom of the 6th inning, though, they've started to get to him. And when that manager comes out, you got to look first pitch fastball, and that's exactly what Chinese Taipei did, taking advantage, putting that one into the gap for a double. Nice job out of them. They've played some really good fundamental baseball here today, and because of that, they lead at 4-1.
Yeah, you can't knock what Muniz has done all game. Coming into this inning, just 2-1, put himself in some tough spots, but always managed to find a way out. And unfortunately, it looked like he just ran out of gas there, having some problems with his control, hit a guy, threw 2 wild pitches, gave up some bases that shouldn't have been given up. Just 1 pitch, 1 inning, just a hair too long for him. And we're likely the last you'll see of him in this tournament just because of the pitch restrictions and the number of rest days that are required. But hats off to him. He did a great job. He battled all the way through against a very disciplined team. And now we'll have a new pitcher stepping in for Harlingen to try and slow these guys down here, keep that a 3-run lead, with Harlingen having only 3 more outs left to try and tie this game. That's going to be number 6, Jesus Ibarra, will be the new pitcher for the team from South Texas.
Batting for Chinese Taipei, number 5, Lin Su-hao.
Number 5, Lin Su-hao, stepping in. First pitch is way outside, 1-0.
Now, if you're Harlingen, you got to buckle down here. You cannot allow another run to score. Down 4-1, starting to get into that territory of point of no return, because you haven't been able to do much off of these Chinese Taipei pitchers to begin with.
1-1 the count. Ibarra able to get that one in for a strike. Only one away here in the bottom of the 6th. Here's the delivery. That one is just outside for a 2-1 count. Yeah, you don't want to give him any more base runners. Keep everything in front of you. 4-1 is going to be difficult enough. Only 4 hits so far for Harlingen. That one swung on and ripped down the right field line. It's going to bend foul. That would have been big trouble if that had stayed in. Well hit ball.
I mean, this is the number 3 man. Hitless on the day, 0 for 3. Looking to help contribute a little bit.
2-2 count. 1 away, runner on second. Harlingen trying to find a way to get out of this inning. Breaking ball misses outside. Count runs full. And let's see what Ibarra comes up with here. Pitches high and away, and that's ball number 4. So his first batter he faces draws a walk, and that'll put runners on first and second with only 1 away. So the inning still creating some difficult situations for Harlingen. Number 6, Liu Jihong, is going to try to continue to add to that padding. Double play ball would be nice here. I guess a walk in the worst thing in that situation. You do set up the double play, which they have been able to turn. First pitch on the inside half, called for strike one. Runner comes set. 0-1 pitch is up for ball number 1, 1-1. Do they have one double play or two?
One double play.
One double play thus far.
Turn that one back in the 4th inning to get out of a jam.
Be a good time for a second right here. That pitch is high. Batter having to dive out of the way to get to it or to avoid it. 2-1 count. Wonder if the heat is starting to have an effect. It's already up to 93.
I will tell you that turf, one of the downsides to it is hot down there.
It absorbs the heat. Next pitch in there, called strike 2. 2-2.
We haven't seen it this game, but the other thing I was noticing yesterday, there were some of these teams having difficulty on the turf where they were slipping and sliding, falling at different times. It is a different clean surface. If you're not used to it, it does kind of grab you. There is a thing called the turf monster for a reason.
That pitch outside, 3-2. Yeah, I never actually played on turf, ever.
I never played baseball on turf. I did play some football on turf, and it was different.
Yeah,
You had to get used to it.
Baseball, football, I've always played on real grass, so I had no idea how to play on turf. I don't know what even, are you supposed to wear tennis shoes or basketball shoes or cleats?
We would play.
That pitch grounded right at the shortstop. Chance for a double play. They get one, and they get two.
So there you go. The pitcher's best friend, the inning double play, getting Harlingen out of the jam and keeping them with a little bit of life. They got 3 outs now to see what they can do. Down 4-1 now, though.
So what was your thought? I didn't hear the end of that. You
playing on turf. I played on the old AstroTurf, so it wasn't this nice field turf that they have now. On the AstroTurf, yeah, I remember we played with cross trainers.
Yeah.
You couldn't play with cleats because the turf wouldn't allow your foot to dig in like it can on these new field turfs. Guys, you'll see them still wearing, especially the not so much the metal spikes, but they'll wear the plastic spikes out there a lot of times. Or, tennis shoes, regular cross trainers work as well out there because the footing is so good. But it is a little different, and
so I can tell you,
you really have to make sure something like that.
These were my favorite cross
Deion
trainers.
Sanders
Yes.
cross trainers are what Michael is showing me right now. You really, the biggest thing and why you see people trip is that you have to pick up your foot. It's not like grass where if you're wearing a cleat and your foot drags, a lot of times that grass will drag with you. Out here on the turf, it's not going to drag. It's going to catch your cleat, and that's why you see guys fall and trip sometimes if you're not getting your feet up and out of the turf.
So when I was probably in middle school, these were the coolest shoes that I had ever seen. That was the latest, greatest, coolest shoe ever, and Deion Sanders was obviously
Michael
a huge
Blake
name.
showing me another Deion Sanders shoe, just in case any of you didn't realize he was a diehard
Well, that's what I
Cowboys fan.
remember. I remember Deion Sanders having the cross trainers. Now, I never bought them because they were 49ers colors. I would not buy them.
I don't even remember those shoes. Those things are ugly, man. Like, come on, you can't show me, I thought maybe you'd show me some Emmett Smiths. Give me,
He didn't have it. Deion Sanders was like the first guy to have his own football shoes.
Give me the King Griffey Jr., something like that, man. Some cross trainers, something.
These are cross trainers.
You show me Deion Sanders shoes. Nobody had Deion Sanders shoes.
Oh, yes, they did. Deion Sanders.
No.
If Primetime's out there listening, which he's not, would you please respond and tell my friend Ryan Bailey that you had some cool cross trainers in the early to mid 90s?
Oh, man. No disrespect to Deion on the field. The guy was a beast, but He did not have the best shoes. I mean, you're talking Griffey at that time. Bo Jackson had better shoes.
I have to
some
see.
guys that had some really nice
I
shoes
gotta
that you could have
see.
worn.
Show me something because
And you're talking about some Deion
I
Sanders
just
that nobody
can't-
ever wore.
I can't remember anybody else. I'll look for the Bo Jackson cross trainers. Yeah, and that's not coming from a biased place at all. Your favorite athlete of all time.
But let's be honest, I didn't even have the Bo Jackson shoes. He's not my favorite.
How are
athlete
the
of all time.
how is that not just as ugly as?
Oh, that's pretty ugly. But at least he had like a whole Nike campaign around him. It was the Bo nose.
This is Enrique Alvarado leading off for Harlingen. I don't see any different. They're just different colors. That one is low for ball number 1. Final 3 outs.
There's a reason nobody in the NFL had their own shoe, and probably shouldn't,
Why is that?
because they made ugly shoes back then.
And I'm looking at the Ken Griffey Juniors, and
The Griffey Juniors were awesome.
they look very similar. They're just
No,
your Seattle Mariners colors.
you showed me the first ones, which weren't even technically Deion Sanders shoes. They were Air Maxes.
Yeah, they were Deion Sanders shoes.
They were nice. That might have been the shoe he wore, but they weren't called the Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
They were just Air Maxes.
Okay.
Griffey at least had his own shoe. They're called the Griffey.
Yeah, I did have his number on it.
That's all I'm saying.
1-2 the count, 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter. But I mean that was not a good time for Nike. Those shoes are not very attractive. They're bulky, big, probably really heavy.
I had the cleats.
That
The
one
metal spikes. Those were nice. I really like the metal spikes.
out of play
That was
down the first baseline.
I mean, you have to remember too, they were into basketball shoes. They weren't the cross trainers. You didn't have a whole lot of baseball and football players with their own shoes.
I'm going to show you the first pair of basketball shoes that I really liked that I had. And they were that ball misses for ball 2. Sorry, we're getting a little distracted here. It is a 2-2 count.
Nicole Maldonado. My son's first shoes were Deion Sanders.
Ha! Thank you.
Congrats, Nicole.
Ha ha. See, I was right.
Michael Blake had one other person that had Deion Sanders.
As
shoes.
usual, I was right.
Obviously, when I say no one had them, I don't mean absolutely nobody had them. Some people had them. They had to.
I'm going to show you the first pair of shoes that I ever actually convinced my parents to spend money on for
I'm going
me.
to assume, Nicole, you are probably a Cowboys fan. Just my assumption.
Go Cowboys. 3-2 count now, and that pitch sails high. These are the first ever basketball shoes I convinced my parents to spend money on for me.
All I had to do was see the name on them, the Kobe Bryant shoe. Those things were hideous. Man.
Back in the day, these were awesome.
No.
Yes, they were.
No, those. Oh,
I was heavily into the basketball. These were very much sought after shoes as a
How old were you to be wearing Kobe Bryant as your
7th
first
grade.
shoe?
Not my first. I mean, the first. I
Yeah.
didn't buy brand name shoes till I got to like 7th grade.
Jordan 6s.
Well, yeah, Jordans, but
I had Jordan 6s. Those were the first shoes I remember my parents bought for me that were over $100. Jordan 6s, the black. I wore those things forever. I actually had a couple of kids threaten to beat me up and steal them one time while I was on my bike.
I believe that. Roberto Guerra stepping in after the leadoff walk from Harlingen. This next pitch, again, misses. This is the kind of start Harlingen wanted. 1 runner on, no outs. Trying to take bases any way they can get them.
They need base runners. Again, go up there, make them throw you a strike.
And there's a strike on the inside half, 1-1. Yeah, you got to remember, Michael Jordan was towards the second half of his career when I was in middle school, getting there. Almost a Wizards player at that point. So that pitch swung on and missed. Strike 2, 1-2. Kobe Bryant was in his infancy, had just become a superstar. I don't have a diehard allegiance to any NBA team, so I really liked Kobe Bryant. I wanted his shoes, and those were his. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. That's the first out of the inning. So Harlingen down to their last two. They do have a runner on first, but gonna need some timely hits here to extend this game.
I don't know, man. Those Kobe Bryants are pretty brutal.
I liked him. Had his number 8 in the front.
Did you wear number 8?
No, I wore number 44.
Yeah, 4 plus 4.
Keith Van Horn.
Keith Van, is that why you wore number 44?
No, that's not why I wore it.
Okay.
First pitch called strike. No, that's not why I wore it, but I remember that was his number.
Well, I'm just messing up on Nicole Maldonado. Sorry. She's not a Cowboys fan.
Next pitch, chop toward the shortstop. Taipei looking for the ending double play, and they get it. And that'll wrap things up
Rolling
here.
up the 6-4-3 double play.
So our final score, 4-1 in favor of Chinese Taipei. They advance to play this afternoon at what time?
Yeah, they're going to play at 5 o'clock right back here at Uni-Trade Field. They will be taking on the host team out of Laredo. Harlingen now moves to the elimination side of the bracket. They've got a quick turnaround. They're going to be back in action at 2 p.m. right here. They will take on the winner of the game going on right now over there between Aroma Park from Illinois and Paderborn, Germany. We haven't got an update on that score, so we'll try to find that one out for you here in the next game. But Chinese Taipei, 4 runs on 7 hits, no errors. Texas, 1 run on 4 hits, 2 errors. Just a tough go of it for the kids from Harlingen.
Yeah, they were seemingly battling from behind nearly the whole game. They were in many more difficult spots than the Taipei was. They were able to get by the skin of their teeth for most of the game. That one big inning in the bottom of the 6th really hurt them, and that's just the way the ball fell today. There was a couple of errors that hurt them as well, but a good game by both teams. Chinese Taipei doing their traditional respectful bow, both towards the opposing team and towards the crowd. Good first ball game for the day. We've got another one coming up here in just a little while. Both teams making their way onto the field. We'll take a little break, get warmed up. Hopefully we'll have some more fun shoe talk here. I know Bailey always likes talking about shoes.
Jordans.
They're nice. They're nice. And I usually bought for comfort, not for look. So I had a lot of comfortable basketball shoes, not a lot of stylish. I would definitely be Kawhi Leonard wearing New Balance. Let's put it that way.
We'll get into this later. Coming up right now, scheduled for 11:30. Obviously, it's 11:34, so that game's not going to start 4 minutes ago. But we'll have Santa Clara out of California taking on Youngstown from Ohio. I'm going to take a quick break right now, and we'll be back with that one probably in about 30 minutes.
We're done.